So where's the office? Back at division?
In the office, baby. Going out.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? You're tuned in to the Buckeye Cast.
Sets, fires, touchdown, Garrett Wilson. Wow. In the end zone. Oh, what a catch. Jeremy Rucker, give me that. Fields, the throw, steps up, delivers deep down the field. He's got a receiver. Olave, touchdown, Buckeyes.
Now here's your host, Joe Warwick.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
What's up? We are back. Hello. How was this week for everybody? Did that go down easy? Yeah, I didn't think so. As always, folks, this is the only commercial-free podcast on Ohio State football. Please give us a 5-star rating. I would love to read your reviews. Oh, the supply store, dude. We just loaded up some new hoodies. We got some awesome hoodies. Jeff, I know you're a huge hoodie guy, especially around the Apopka area.
Yes, I do love the hoods. I do feel comfortable with hoods.
Yeah, not in the
Keeps the head of yours warm.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Actually, I got my Under Armour hoodie on right now. Just getting them back out. We've got about 58 degrees tonight, Joe. I'm sitting on the back porch.
Oh yeah, that's
feeling good. Feeling perfect.
Tasty.
Yeah, shorts and a hoodie, man.
Curl up with
Florida
nice
weather.
little bottle of bourbon. There you go.
A couple bottles of Corona, but
Yeah.
we'll manage to stay warm.
Ay, caramba. So anyways, folks, as I said, we have brand new hoodies. I just launched this weekend in the supply store, so hit the BuckeyeCast.com. Any bourbon, Jeff, obviously no. Coronas and limes for you, eh?
Hey,
Shawn, you warmed up to any bourbon up there in the Arctic cold?
I have not, but you got the holiday coming up here, so was gonna go out and try and find something special for myself for the holiday weekend. But I don't know, any recommendations?
Oh, I have plenty. Depends on what you can get.
Well, I don't know if there's some limited release stuff. I'll probably try sampling something like that. But
Oh yeah, if you can get anything, it's going to be pricey, but if you can get any of the Buffalo Trace antique collection that's being released this month, it's probably already out. I just can't get a hold of it. It's going to be a little pricey, but that is the sweet spot. Yeah, they're all in the tall, skinny 750 milliliter bottles, and they have like 5 or 6 different types. They got they have a buffalo, they have an eagle, they got a William LaRue Weller, they have a Taylor.
what? So they're blending these with all those?
These are like
is that what they're
just
doing?
aged, mostly just aged longer. They're slightly different recipes. So if you can find those, I would say take advantage, because those won't be around very long. And people are selling those for thousands of dollars online.
oh,
Yeah.
And then I'm probably not going to be finding much of those.
You never know. Like, you got better access than we do down here.
Well, if I do, I ain't drinking it. I'm selling it for thousands of dollars online.
There you go. And just buy a shitload of buffalo.
right.
Yeah.
It's like any other trade.
There you go.
Buy in bulk, wholesale it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you're wholesaling.
Moving weight over here, boy.
Right.
Weight.
Keep it pushing.
By the cases. No, I think I was thinking about treating myself to a nice. Go out and find me a nice bottle too.
Yeah, a little holiday,
Yeah.
a little something.
Something to deal with the in-laws with.
Warm the cockles. Warm the cockles of your heart. Yeah, I would go, if you're going to ABC, or one of the basic liquor stores.
ABC down here.
Yeah.
That's they're all over the
Woodford's
place.
always solid. Angels, they got Angels here in St. Pete.
Angels.
Angels
I like
Envy. That's
I
good
will,
shit. That goes down smooth.
I'm gonna have to go. That's what I'm gonna go with, Joe. I'm gonna get me a bottle of Angels.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Throw it on a big whiskey rock if you got one.
Okay.
And off
right.
you go.
Yeah.
Off you go.
And away we go.
And let it take you away.
Yeah. And don't be stingy with that shit. So, obviously, I got Jeff and Shawn in here this week. We're coming at you a little early because of the holiday. We wanted to get a little recap of this Indiana game and then prep you for, I don't know.
The Illabuck.
How much preparation do you need
Right.
for a fucking
Illabuck.
turtle?
It's a wooden turtle.
Yeah. I feel bad for the first turtle.
It's important, damn it.
Yeah.
It is important in the sense that we need to make sure we win it.
Secure the dub.
We need the game to be played, which seems not a given.
Yeah.
We just need to get these games to the field. We'll take care of the rest. Just get it to Saturday.
Yeah, we are -5 games compared to everybody else. So, yeah, we're looking at 4-0 right now. Let's jump into it right now. This is going to be a little painful, I feel. Definitely for me. I had to put away all the sharp objects tonight. So, quick hitters, Shawn. Give me your positive and negative from this Saturday's game, please.
Positive, pretty obvious, I think. Well, I think there's a few of them, but the running game, Master Teague, on top of Sermon on the back end of that, looking nice as well. Just came out and ran the ball down their throat all game long. Mm-hmm. Big runs. I mean, you probably got the number in front of you, but I think they were averaging well over 6.
Right.
Yeah, but Teague and Sermon both averaged over 6 a carry. I think Sermon was like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
just less carries.
So that was the big plus. The big minus is our pass defense, and that secondary in particular.
I didn't notice, Shawn. What are you talking about?
I mean, the whole secondary, all of them. Yeah. Shawn Wade, wow, you should have went, bro. You cost yourself a ton of money.
All right, Jeff. What?
I don't think he's first round pick right now.
He's probably sliding right now.
Even with the pick 6.
Yeah, exactly. That was basically a little cherry on the top of a turd sundae. Jeff, your quick positive and negative off the top.
Quick positive. Our offensive line is still good. We can run the ball on who we want to when we want to. I think we can put 200 yards up on Alabama. We could put 200 yards up on Wisconsin. We could put 200 yards up on fucking Utah. Whoever in the country on the ground. I think if we commit to it, like when Ryan Day decided to commit to it, we can. Our running game is going to be fine. I think we're going to continue Teague as the bulk of the carries, with sprinkling in the rest of the guys throughout the year, depending on how health and how they progress. So running game, offensive line, yeah, they're still good. Negatives, well, I mean, Shawn took my 1 and 1A. Because it's the most glaring. Obviously, we're nowhere at the level we've been the last 5 years in that secondary. We have guys that I don't see any position that's safe. Now, obviously, Shawn Wade's one of the best players on the team. He's not going to lose his job. The other three
But he needs
spots
to
back
sharpen.
there?
He needs to sharpen that game, man.
Oh, he does. No, his game doesn't need to be sharpened because what do they do in the
'Cause he-
NFL? They contest everything. They back shoulder throws and everything. He's shown that he is getting defeated consistently on the 50-50 balls.
Yeah.
He's got to
going
fix
up
that.
against some studs, but
What's going to happen in the playoffs? The studs of the studs. You know what I mean? Devontae Smith, Amari Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know, that's your first round. Those are your first round receivers. The dudes that you're going to be lined up against on Sundays.
well, who's like worked Shawn Wade? Fragpogel and Deshaun or Dotson or
Yeah, I don't know why.
And that's kind of those are not household names exactly.
No,
But anyways,
it's glaring. Obviously, the secondary is the
That's
biggest
fine.
negative.
Yeah.
And what can we do to correct it?
yeah,
Obviously.
Williamson, Hooker, all of them.
Hooker is not his
Banks
brother.
looks like he's slow, and doesn't even look like he's running hard every time.
Oh, the long pass to Banks, he was not running full speed the whole time.
Right.
His stride changed. I saw. I mean, just it was blatant to me. Like, why did he?
Me too.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll get into that because I believe there's a reason for a lot of the mediocre corner play. Not all of it, but there are reasons.
Not
And-
only that, but I mean, what about the scheme? I mean, there's guys that aren't covered. It's like, totally out of position.
Right. And we're going to get into that when we talk defense. I wanted to talk about my quick positive and negative real quick. It's just basically a night and day difference between first half and second half. We've seen this 2 games in a row now where we've got almost a nail. This last game was a nail biter in the fourth quarter, like the entire fourth quarter. Okay. We were outscored 2 games in a row in the second half, substantially. We were outscored this game 28-14 in the second half. That's a big swing.
And you could almost say
these are against Rutgers and Indiana.
Exactly.
and you could almost say Penn State played us even in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, Penn State made it a game in the second half, but so that's a theme. Why are we not putting 60 minutes of football together?
Yeah, we explode out to 28-7 in the first half. That's my big positive, and we look unstoppable. Then second half, play calling seems to change. We do come out and score in the first drive, which is a positive for sure. You got to set that tone. But seems like play calling on offense and defense changes. So, anyways, let's first of all get into the offense and start picking this apart. Fields. I don't know where to start. You talk about a good and bad scenario. As good as he is, was he pressing today, Shawn? You think?
You think? I mean, I don't know what it was. Just out of sorts for him, making
What was he
some
doing?
bad decisions. It's like, man, dude, it's okay to throw some incompletions, but he really hasn't thrown any bad balls like the first 3 games. I think they got him out of sorts with all that pressure they were bringing, and I mean, obviously he forced a few. I mean, he doubled his career interceptions at Ohio State in 1 game,
In one half, almost.
and it's been 17 games there.
Right.
It's nuts.
The 2 stupid picks he threw into multiple coverage. The one he just blooped over the middle in the second half was probably the worst throw ever.
Oh, as he's getting tackled,
Yes.
and he throws across his body. That's just
That's a no-no.
That's a freshman rookie mistake if
Exactly.
there ever is one. It's just like he had a brain fart or something. Like he's like, oh, I don't know what, like that is the rule number 1, thing that you do not do.
You think a lot of his drawbacks, like getting all the sacks from holding on to it too long, are just him trying to make a big play every time?
Yeah,
And
because he knows he's Justin Fields.
can.
Yeah, it is. Look, he throws to these guys in practice every day, and he knows what he does. He's like, I'm fucking Justin Fields. He's like, and that fucking guy out there is the best receiver in the country. So, this play's never dead.
and so's the other guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, like, so I can see why he thinks that way.
Because they
But
catch
that way,
everything.
that way will get us blown out against.
I do.
Alabama.
I think he's been spoiled. Where when he threw that one up, into space,
That was-
I just think he's so spoiled having Olave and Wilson that he's like, I just throw it up there. One of them fuckers will get it.
Right.
It's like, dude.
Yeah.
I do.
And
I
that's
think
the
he's
problem
a little
is-
bit privileged, man.
Is he's not spreading it around. That leads me right into my big point is nobody else is catching the ball right now. Olave
Not
and
really
Wilson.
targeting anybody else, though.
No, he had one pass to Sermon, one pass to JMO, one pass to Njapa. The rest were Olave and Wilson. So,
Right. And when he's
That's a
sitting back
problem.
there because sometimes he was sitting back there, when they didn't bring pressure, it was 3 seconds, 4 seconds,
Yeah.
5 seconds,
Right.
and then he's just shuffling around. But like, bro, like none of our guys, nobody out in the pass pattern, nobody got open. There's 5 out there, and nobody's open the whole time. Is he just locking on the 2 guys he wants to
Very
and
possible.
not seeing them?
Yeah, but
what-
the guy's completion percentage on the year is amazing. So I mean, look, if those guys are getting open and catching everything he throws, I mean, I don't got a problem with it.
I'm not sure he's
either.
faced a
I don't
defense like this one to this point.
I don't either, Shawn, until he starts running around because he's finally getting people chasing him, and he makes a crazy ass throw and gets picked off, or
Or
takes an
scampers for a
unnecessary
few
hit.
yards. Yeah, it takes 6 sacks. He kind of
Yeah,
runs into
yeah.
him sometimes.
I mean, we haven't played a great secondary yet, but there are some in the country. I don't know if we'll get to play any of them or not, but if we play a great secondary,
Are there any great
or,
secondaries in this country?
well, you know what? Actually, never mind. They outlawed great secondaries. There are some decent ones.
Well-
You're not allowed to be great on the defense.
I don't even know who is a good secondary.
Like-
If you're too good on defense, they move you back to the offense.
That's almost true because, like Saban said recently, it's basically there is no good defense anymore being played. You're kind of at the mercy of the offense, and you can only do so much.
You got to go for big plays and turnovers, and I think it's actually turned. I think the coaching is actually gearing more towards that. People aren't tackling like they used to, and they're just trying to make turnovers because we're going to give up points. Let's just try to get one less possession for them, give us one more, and that'll be the difference. It seems like that seems like that's a philosophy, and it drives me insane.
Yeah,
It,
like Saban's quote was, "I do think the days of playing great defense and winning are probably behind us in college football."
yeah.
I agree 100%. I mean, you got to win games 52-51 if you have to nowadays,
What's that saying? That something's out of the box. Meaning, like once offenses realize how they can operate, they're not going to go back.
Oh, the cat is out.
I mean, we're not the cat's out of the bag. Maybe I don't know, but whatever the fuck. Anyways, but that's what he's saying is like, the offenses aren't going to switch back to be more conservative.
Why
It's
would
just
it?
going to be It's
Because
all the rules
are
work
geared towards the offense.
exactly.
So, yeah.
But
I don't know. What if the game changes so much that it fucking comes back on itself? Where okay, now you've got all these super fast little dudes, and I come in with my giant running back, and we pound it down your fucking throat the whole game.
I
How are
found
you
the
going to
last
stop
5
that?
fullbacks on the
How are you going to
planet.
stop that with your 220-pound middle linebackers?
Yep.
You're not.
That's where it changes back and it starts to flip. Everything in college football is cyclical. Programs are cyclical, except for Ohio State. But everybody goes through these cycles of ups and downs. Always the few 5 to 10 teams are always going to be good, but the type of game that they're playing, the sport, kind of goes through cycles.
No, it's and I say that I'm more romanticizing that. It's never going back. It's a it's a passing league now. That's what it is. But what makes
Yeah.
Ohio State, like you said,
we're
not
not gonna-
cyclical is we can still power run on your ass. We can do anything we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we need to go get, go 5 wide and shotgun, we'll just go get the best quarterback in the country and the 5 best receivers. If it's running, then we'll just run the fucking power I. But we're not going to see the wishbone again in our lifetimes.
That's true. That's true. Probably not. But the running game, got to speak up for them. Outside of Fields' 3 picks. Oh, by the way, we got to quickly give a shout out to Julian Fleming. Kid may not have had a catch yet, but he had one of the biggest plays of the season to this point. Am I safe in saying that?
That was going to be my spotlight that I was going to key on. Yes, I think that's the play of the game. I would have gave him player of the game for that effort alone.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
As a Maurice Claret type play, that was special.
That's
and
effort.
if I may, the
Please.
8th grade CYO league doesn't really respect that comment about the wishbone. They love running the wishbone in the CYO league.
Nice.
I tell you what,
Nice.
I love the wishbone. I was a part of one. I think I would love to see offenses run it nowadays. You could, especially with all the speed that these teams put out there. You just come out with like double tight end and a fucking 240-pound fullback, and then 2 tailbacks. I'm going right or left, and then just
You never
hammer
know.
people.
We may see that in 20 years.
Well,
Never know.
I'd love
And
to
with
see it
Teague,
again, but
with
I don't
Teague
think
in the
we will.
running, I got to tell you, this is the first game that I've seen Master Teague actually run hard. I felt he was running downhill a lot more, not shuffling around and just getting after it.
There were some big ass holes there too.
I
Yeah.
think he's just getting healthy. He's just coming off of fucking torn Achilles.
I would say same for
I think
Sermon.
he
He actually broke a tackle.
Yep, I agree. Same for Sermon. I thought he was running harder as well.
Yep.
So maybe something's clicking there.
Yeah. Big holes helps everybody, helps all of us. But we were speaking of the offensive line. As much as I'm going to give him credit for the huge rushing game, we went 300 on the stat sheet off passing and rushing, but the blitz pickup was a big fucking problem. I know you're never going to be 100%, but we had T getting blown up by blitzers occasionally, and guys just not getting picked up.
I singled out Josh Myers a couple of times, just being confused.
Yeah,
Look,
got killed.
They run that triple blitz from all 3 levels right in the A gap, and they just pick one goes one way, one goes the other, and they just veer off. I saw Nicholas Petit-Frere. He shifted off his guy, shifted him to the guard, then he stood around, looked to the right, and then a guy went right past him. And he's just standing there. He wasn't blocking anybody. Dude blasted Fields. But Myers a couple of times. But they all grade out as champions. So I don't know what that grading scale is. But if that's just like stat based,
it's a sliding scale.
It's a sliding scale, right? Well, I did not think our offensive line played like champions. It was.
I don't know. It's hard to argue with the 300.
Yeah, 300 yards rushing. I'll take that. Personally, I love seeing the throw game. Being as successful as it was, but I think Day gets away from the running game when it's dominating. I think he pulls back because he wants to. Maybe it's an ego thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just like his nature. Seems like he wants to throw more than run, and the run game was not getting stopped ever.
Mm-mm.
I mean, occasionally, but. I mean, look at what we rushed for, man.
I don't know. Days out there on the practice field. Maybe he knows. You know what? I got to get as many points as I can quick because our secondary is about to fold up in the second half.
Well, that was apparent. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable with any lead in the fourth quarter.
I'm guessing our practices look pretty one-sided.
You think?
You know what I mean? I think, and that could also breed a lot of confidence in him, thinking. They destroy our DBs, and we got some of the best in the country. I got to keep throwing the ball. Why not?
Well,
it's like I have I got all these tools here, and I'm not using them.
Well, I'll take Olave and Wilson against any secondary in the country, but maybe it's a little bit of fool's gold with our secondary in practice. Yes, I agree.
To me, they just, and I'll blame the coaches. They didn't know. They were visibly way out of position at times. It's like, is that if your guy doesn't know where to be, that's the coaching.
Yeah. Well, I will say somebody who I won't name, but I will name him, Marcus Hooker. All right, so we're going to get into the defense now. I wanted to come back to one point on offense, but since we're going to leak right into the defense, Hooker out. He was responsible for 3 touchdowns himself.
Yep.
He bites on these crossing routes, and he comes up instead of staying deep. He's the deep safety. He's not keeping his responsibility. He is out until he gets it through his fucking head. Williamson, another guy, out.
Yes.
Beat it. I'd rather play fucking freshmen over these guys.
Out. I mean, dude, are any of these guys fast? I mean,
I'll
they look
Banks.
slow.
I'll give him a little bit of leeway, but he was expecting safety help at one point, but
look at him running. It's
Marcus
like
Hooker? Hey, if Marcus Hooker's the dude behind you, don't plan on shit.
No. Well,
You're compounding the problem. He's not paying attention, and you're counting on him.
Okay, so let me lay it out. So let's think about it this way. When Ryan Day was asked about it after the game, he says, when you have these issues on defense or any position, doesn't matter, it's either one of 3 things: personnel, scheme, or coaching. Where do you guys land on this defensive secondary?
Yes.
I'd say it's personnel. Personnel number 1, because everybody else has a track record. The scheme has a track record of being successul. The coaching has a track record of being successful.
Well,
not
this is
really in that
shades
secondary.
Of 2018 here.
It so is. I don't know if it's the personnel. These guys are all highly. I mean, they should be productive. I think it's scheme more than coaching. I think the coaches all coach at a high level. I think the players are all high level players. This scheme. It's, I don't know. You go to the pros and then come back, Aliciano, and fuck. I don't know what it is. But I think Coach Day said that it could be a little bit of all of them. What's that?
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's got to be everybody's got to be accountable. I mean, there's a portion to go around.
But some guys are not playing their position in the scheme, dude. That's my point. That's why I believe it's a personnel issue with Hooker and Williamson.
Maybe but if they're not playing their position, that's the coach. I mean, the coaching doesn't see that. I mean,
right. No,
that's a coaching issue. It's not a talent issue unless the guys just can't get it. And if you can't get it, then get him out of there and get someone in there that does get it.
That's when it becomes a personnel issue.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's a personnel issue with the wrong guys. The guy's not productive. He's not playing.
He's not taking the coaching.
Then it becomes coaching problem when they're not getting someone else in there that is more prepared or that will make the plays. So yeah, those go hand in hand. It's the coaches. If they don't put the right personnel in, then it's both issues.
We have 2 underlying issues here that have contributed to this shit show that we're seeing, I believe. And those 2 issues are, number 1, losing Amir Reep and Jocelyn Wynn, especially Reep. Reep played significant snaps last year against Michigan. He played in the Clemson game, played in the Big Ten.
Wynn got some snaps too.
Wynn was more of a special teamer, but yes, experience was lost. These guys were 3-year guys in the program. So that's experience lost. But number 2, and maybe even more importantly, is we took 0 DBs in that 2019 class, remember? Clark Phillips backed out at the last minute and flipped it from Utah. He was our only DB.
Right. So
we got 0 DBs in that 2019 class, and this is kind of, it's showing out right now. It's bearing, this this kind of lack of depth we have. We basically
but it's just amazing that you've got all these kids that were in the 2018 class that just aren't, all highly recruited.
Yeah.
In 2017 class,
right.
These guys have been here a while.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, boys? Williamson, Banks, Johnson,
yeah.
Proctor, Hooker. It's like Hooker's second or third year, right?
Yeah.
And none of them. None of them are playing well. They're not playing with confidence. I was going to type BIA my ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why. If it's got to show on tape that Hooker is consistently making the wrong reads and getting sucked up, and getting plays behind him. But why is we don't the problem? The alarming thing is, to me, we don't have someone immediately that they can say, put him in, go to Proctor or whatever. Why is Proctor not? Because it's like if a guy's making mistakes, like we don't have a guy that they trust to not make those same mistakes. That's alarming.
Yeah.
There's not a second guy to come in that they know he might not be as fast, but goddamn it, he won't make those mistakes at least. We're not even at that point yet, and I don't know why we're not, because Freifogel, a guy named Freifogel, got Big Ten Player of the Week over Shawn Wade.
Yes.
That should not. We shouldn't be having these struggles against the teams we're playing right now.
That's probably the second best team in the Big Ten, to be fair.
You know what? I think they are. Are, but they weren't anything like that. And nobody knew about this until this year. Nobody said shit about Indiana until this year. So it's not like anybody was saying, "You watch Tom Allen and them boys. They're gonna give him a run in the East." Nobody said that. They said they might challenge for third.
Right.
So but yes, they do look like the second best team in the Big Ten. I'll take them over anybody in the West.
Oh, yeah, easily. I don't know if there's anybody in the East that can hang with them. I think they've obviously already beaten
Michigan, Penn State,
what else is there?
I guess the next toughest game might be Maryland, but we didn't get a chance.
Right, it would have been for us, I'll tell you that. So now, this is your depth.
Northwestern might be the second best team in the Big. I don't know.
The defense looks legit.
Sure.
But I hope
this is your depth at corner, dude. You got Marcus Williamson is the senior. Banks, Brown. Losing Cam Brown is a big loss. That's the one position we didn't need to lose somebody.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, those guys are juniors. Tyreek Johnson is a redshirt sophomore.
Get on that field, boy.
Yeah, and then our freshmen are all true freshmen: Cavazos, Cam Martinez, and Ryan Watts. This is a pretty thin fucking unit, man. When you got
no sophomore.
3 corners, you have to get on the field every play. Safety, you got nothing, man. You got Proctor as a junior, Hooker as a redshirt sophomore. Then behind them are all freshmen. A couple redshirt freshmen. You got Ronnie Hickman, Bryson Shaw. Lathan Ransom is the only person I feel good about. And Court Williams is fucking out with an ACL.
And he might be the one on the field already.
Martinez. I think that Martinez could get on the field, maybe.
I like him. But they got him listed at corner. I don't know if he can play safety. I mean, he hasn't played much defense.
I thought they were putting him in the safety.
Maybe. I haven't seen it yet. But he played mostly offense in high school, so I'm not sure that's really useful.
Yeah, but I think he's one of them Darren Lee type dudes.
Okay, but you got to train him up, though. You can't just throw him out there in a Big Ten game and say, "Hey, play safety."
What? Then he might look like Hooker.
He might.
Yeah,
he might. Worst case scenario.
Yeah. I mean, But I mean,
491,
everybody.
boys. We gave up 491 through the fucking air.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I had a buddy who lost
touchdowns
a lot of money. He kept prop betting through. Joe, you probably did the same. Kept thinking, they won't get it. They won't score again.
Yeah.
Keep chasing that line.
I'd tell you what, though. At one point, I stopped watching. I got up and went and got in the shower. I stopped. I think I missed like half of the fourth quarter, probably. Because I didn't even care. I mean, I had no thoughts that Indiana was going to actually get back and beat us, but I was just disgusted with how we were playing defense.
I thought it was over.
I just said
I was biting my fucking nails throughout the fourth, man. They were within one touchdown of us, starting with like 10 minutes to go in the game. I'm like, Jesus, we can't stop a nosebleed here. This is gonna they're gonna tie it up, and we're gonna have to come down here and put a drive together, which we hadn't done since the first drive of the third quarter.
I know.
We missed how many field goals? 2. We had to go for it on inside the red zone on a fourth down. Didn't get it because we couldn't trust our fucking kicker. You know, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
We got to just score touchdowns from here on out. It's going to be one of these. It's going to be like Michigan Rutgers.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So anyway,
I stayed up for that shit show.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't, dude. I went to bed like in the fourth. But anyways,
I'm not.
So
I was disappointed.
So we had some interesting score prediction. None of us were really close.
At half, I was loving my prediction.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was loving my bets. I had Master T getting 107 at plus 350. Yeah, I'll take that. Felt really good about that. And then Buckeyes didn't make it to 43 points. And just a lot of frustrating bullshit.
That's the thing. We didn't make 43 points, but we had 600 yards of offense.
Yeah.
You know, a 150, and 300 for the quarterback. But the 3 turnovers, and actually in our defense, we can see it too. They didn't score on any of those interceptions.
Right.
Which is huge. But you know what? The best teams in the country will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Most teams will take advantage, especially in that kind of area where you're giving them up. One thing I got to bring up while we're talking about it, the turnovers. 3 turnovers. We should have gotten 3 turnovers. I think 2 of them were missed by the refs. One was early in the game, first Indiana series. Don't know how. I think somebody on the Ohio State sideline up in the booth should have radioed down to today and told him to take at least a timeout.
I was surprised. I was surprised. That
was an easy one. The Zach Harrison hitting Michael Penis. His hand was moving forward, but his hand was empty. No ball.
Right.
There was a targeting on Fields late in the game where he was going down.
Yeah, he had smoke right in the face mask.
Yeah. Yeah, crown of the helmet. These Big Ten refs. He's sliding. Yeah, these Big Ten refs, once again, I mean, they miss more than they fucking catch. I mean, how much hand fighting was going on with these receivers and DBs down the field on both sides?
Yeah, and that dude, that ref, I've seen that cocksucker for years. I mean, that's an old crew that he works with.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, guys. Come on, we're trying to play a game here.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I will say, yes, that probably should have been targeting. But was that Werner or Borland on that fumble that we got? I thought maybe they got to look at that one too. I was like, okay.
Werner lit that dude up. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He lit that fucker up down in the red zone. Yeah. And Browning.
But I don't think anyone wanted to take another look at that. And I don't know if it was illegal, but it was punishing.
I'll tell you, Werner had a good game, man. He had that huge sack late in the game in the fourth quarter on one of the last drives for Indiana where we forced him on a 3-and-out when it was still just a one-score game. Werner came in on a blitz and had a huge sack. I thought Baron Browning played a great game too. He was all over the place.
I was gonna say the linebackers were definitely. I think I consider linebackers the position group of the game.
Yeah,
for sure.
Elon got pressure. They only got 2 sacks because Penix was getting rid of the ball so quickly. But they were fucking providing pressure.
Isn't it nice though? I mean, when's the last time we were excited about it? Linebackers, the only thing's holding this thing together right now, and we haven't said that in a couple years. I don't think.
I think
Well,
I'd like to. I think
has-
I'd like to see some more Baron Browning blitzing or some more Werner blitzing. Tyrod Mitchell.
I think I got to credit Tough Borland for shutting
send a-
down that running game basically single-handedly. Tough played hell of a game.
Having a beast year, man. He's balling out.
Tough. He single-handedly held them to negative yards rushing.
That was pretty amazing.
I'll give him that.
Our rush defense has got to get a nice boost from that.
For sure. All right, so all in all, not a great dub, but probably the second best team in the Big Ten, I would say. I don't see anybody better in the conference. So, and this is only week 4. You got to remember we've missed.
They're better than most.
We've lost 5 games. We lost 4 games on the front part of the schedule, and then just the last one with Maryland. So, is this just week 4 type problems that we have? I hope.
I think some of it might be.
I fucking hope. I mean, when you go through a 12-game schedule and your team gets gradually better through the year, maybe you don't look back at week 4 and say, oh, wow, I can't believe we played like shit that week. But we got to see some vast improvements here. We got like 4 weeks until we start getting into the playoffs. That's really short.
When does the ball come out?
What's that?
Tomorrow.
Oh,
When
The
the
college
college
school,
selection,
the
though, like,
CFP poll. Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
yeah, Tuesday night. So, not a lot to talk about with this Illinois preview. I mean, it's in Columbus. No, it's in Champlain, right? Champagne. Yeah. So the wind tunnel and noon on FS1. So sweet. Getting relegated to YouTube TV.
Nice. I think Pat McNamara's probably got the game. Or Pat McAfee, I mean.
McAfee? Oh, that'd be all right.
McAfee.
You can talk about punting and kicking and shit.
He's actually awesome. He's actually
I love
fun to
him.
listen to.
I'm not sure that he's really like a great play-by-play guy, but whatever.
I don't know. I just said that because it's on FS1. It's not. We're not going to get Gus and Clatt, but
Right. We got Lovey coming in.
We don't.
I can't believe we got Lovey coming in with no beard. What the hell? How do you shave the beard?
Dude.
Is it attractive?
Probably didn't play well with some recruits, man. I don't know. It's like
I
I don't want to go
looked
play
like
football for my
a
grandma.
boss. That was a boss beard.
Black Santa. Come on.
I don't know.
It's better than
Atlanta.
that.
I thought it looked off.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
November.
And you know what?
Rutgers are 2-3, man. They just beat Rutgers, who is
I
now
tell you,
suddenly
they,
the second best team in the East, third best, maybe.
they're not. You try to give them credit but they're not as bad as they've been. I don't know. I don't know how to give them I don't want to talk too highly of them, but Lovey, they fucking fight. They play. They put in an effort. You can't just. They're not a walkover like they were for the past 5-6 years or 7 years, 10 years.
They just beat Nebraska. I don't know what the hell happened to Nebraska, but I thought these guys actually wanted to play football a few weeks ago. Apparently not.
I'm over Coach Frost. I'm over it. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. He's in over his head. Maybe I don't know. But I am not buying any Nebraska stock. I'd buy Illinois stock before I'd buy a Nebraska stock right now.
I don't know. I think once he makes that full transition, that McCaffrey kid is.
Yeah, I would say
Right.
that's the future. But he also has to get some culture change going in there. He's got some dudes that probably aren't good program guys.
Right.
Just my opinion.
What year is he in? This is his third or fourth?
I don't know.
Frost.
Let's go third.
Okay. Well, they had a lot of turnover on that roster when he first got in there. There was a lot of, you know what I mean?
They've had a lot of turnover every year. That Torian Washington kid from California they brought in, they had to fucking cut him. He was like one of their highest recruits ever.
Yeah.
We were in on him.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's had a lot of turnover there. He's gotten a majority of his people in there. You know, if you, he might. Okay, you might want to give him. Say they might want to. I don't know what his contract is. I know they gave him a big contract when he signed, so
you
he
can't
might
fire Scott Frost if you're in Nebraska. He's basically got to shit on the statue of the president and to get fired there. I mean,
back off of Scott Frost. I don't know why you guys are banging on my bro.
3 or 4 wins.
I'm not
3 or
down
4
with
wins a
this
year.
at all.
I mean, that's what we're looking at with Nebraska. 3 or 4 wins a year.
Oh, give the guy a chance, man.
Well, that's what I'm getting. Okay. So I'm asking, like, how many? What do you consider a chance? Like a fair chance?
He has to
4
get
years,
Nebraska
5
back
years?
to like Bo. He needs to get it to like Bo Pelini's Nebraska. I think that's the
8-4.
9-3.
oh, dude, you're asking for some.
You're talking. I think. All right. So 8.6.
They fired.
average.
They ran Bo Pelini out of town for that.
Yeah. So I mean,
And
that's
then
where you want
I
to get
bet they
back
wish they
to.
had that shit back.
Well, Bo Pelina's kind of a dick too. He's a little difficult with the boosters.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sure. Not exactly
Right.
a glad hander.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Hey, well, there's the dead fish. Oh, that's our new head coach.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Give me your money.
Yeah.
He's like shows up like a fucking robber.
Right. Frost.
The donor
Frost
dinners.
Frost is it's his alma mater. You know, he was a national champion quarterback. Of course, he's way better with the backers and alumni and all that. Of course,
But he still doesn't have to suck dick.
But I mean, they want it back. That's what Nebraska wants it back to the way Frost had it with Tom Osborne. When it was just and right, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. So I mean, how much time do you give him to get to what level? I don't think they know. I don't think Nebraska knows the answer to those questions. That's probably why they're in the situation they're in.
My question is, how long until they go back to the Big 12? If that's what they want, they need to go back to the Big 12 because you can't live in a world where Ohio State and Penn State are in your conference and expect to go 9-3. That's not going to happen.
Yep, those are crossovers. Nebraska could be every bit as good as Wisconsin and compete on the regular. I thought, frankly, they would when we busted these conferences. I'm like, all right, Nebraska will get back, and it'll be Nebraska and Wisconsin. It'll be there.
Yeah.
You know, those will be the big boys over there. And
I did
you
too.
know, and Iowa will show up every couple years. And, you know, you'll have this and that. But I figured it was going to be
Minnesota
those two.
gets some little fucking sawed off Lucky Charms guy selling shit and whispering in people's ears, then Minnesota might make a run every year and not.
Gypsy.
Little fucking, I'm trying to think of like a dancing sprite, like a little leprechaun type.
Strikes you in the throat when you're not looking.
Right. You just sprinkle some dust, poof, making magic. Row the boat, and we out.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're right, Shawn. I felt the same way. Because I was like, oh, yeah, but it's what we need. We need another team out. We need another team in the West. That'd be perfect. Nebraska will get here, get their shit together.
It's not happening anytime soon.
It's not going to happen.
Maybe that McCaffrey is the leader of the new age Nebraska, but they need more talent around him, especially on defense, man. They need a lot of help.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I don't think they're going to be at an Ohio State level anytime soon, but again, I think they can compete over there.
Well, that shouldn't be their goal. I'm not sure that's realistic at all. I think their goal should be Wisconsin.
And it just depends on what crossover games they got, you know.
from year to year. Yeah.
Saddled with Ohio State, or you know.
But Ohio State or not, you should be getting 8-9 wins. Maybe some years 10. You have that one year you go 11-1, but 8-4, 9-3. That'll keep you relevant. That keeps you some top 25. Some top 25 finishes if you win your bowl game.
Yeah.
That's really what they are, except for what they were in, if we go back to the 60s.
They just have such a legacy, they're in the same boat as a lot of these big programs.
Oklahoma, Texas.
Who's Oklahoma? I think's been legit lately, but Texas
they are
for sure.
But Texas,
Michigan,
Nebraska. Give me the history on Texas and
Florida
Nebraska.
State.
I bet it's similar.
I think Nebraska's is better as far as national championships.
Yeah, Nebraska's the beast, man.
Then Texas,
Their history is solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a blue
going
blood,
back to the old Big 12 days.
They're blue blood, but yeah, no big.
That's why I think Nebraska belongs there.
It reminds me of like Harvard and Yale back in the turn of the century when they were.
Yeah,
it's like are some of these blue bloods, are they just done now? Like Michigan, Nebraska, like, hey, you guys aren't coming back, man. You guys are just, that was a different era, and you guys aren't coming back.
Like, you think like in 40 years, people look back and say, wow, like Michigan, Nebraska used to be like really good. Wow.
In the
they're not even
1990s. Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like they call them. I mean, was it Bo Bishop on 97.1 in Columbus always calls them museums. That's what Michigan is. It's a museum. Nebraska's a museum. Great history, but not relevant.
Not relevant. Exactly.
All right, so somehow this Illinois game turned into a discussion on Nebraska.
The whole West.
Bookmark that. We'll come back to it. Microscopes. Let's get into the microscopes for the Illinois game. I'm not even going to try and break down the Illinois too deep. I do know that they have a former Michigan quarterback,
I was
Peters.
just going to say that. That's my breakdown.
Peters.
He looks. Hey, you know what?
He was out last week.
COVID last week. He's gonna be good.
He got COVID?
Yeah, he was a COVID guy, I think.
He
had like 5-6
He played against Nebraska
when they lost. No, the last week I don't think him and like 4 or 5 others played. I don't believe.
Hey, but one thing about Brandon Peters, he looks better at Illinois.
He played against Illinois, dude. You guys are wrong.
He plays for Illinois. How the hell did he play against them?
No, he played.
There
Nebraska.
was one.
He played. They beat Nebraska.
Don't make me look this shit up.
I am looking at it right now. It's in black and white internet.
Hey, whoa! We don't need to bring black and white into this.
Maybe it was a game before that he didn't play.
Yeah.
Anyways, he looks better at Illinois than he ever did at Michigan.
I agree.
So,
as most do.
All right, Joe. You want to get in the spotlights?
Yeah, let's go Buckeyes spotlight, Jeff, on offense.
Offense
going against this Nebraska Illinois defense.
Spotlights. I'm gonna go back to Justin Fields. Play mistake-free football. Justin Fields. No more of that silly shit.
Okay.
Gotcha. No, just don't play hero ball, man. Just get back to taking what they're giving you. We'll score plenty. Just
Shawn,
take what they give you.
What do you have on offense?
Well, I was going to have Justin Fields as well, but I'm just as fine going with Garrett Wilson. I think we are in rare air here with Garrett Wilson. This guy went for 104 games in a row, only him and Chris Carter. Did Carter go 5?
Yes. Yeah, the record's 5.
Yeah.
Carter's got the record.
Next week
5.
will be the record.
Record next week would tie the record?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm looking for that right now.
Okay.
Wilson seems unstoppable to me.
I like it. Okay, I'm going to go Teague. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I had Teague last week, and he showed up for me. May even look at a prop bet on Mr. Teague. I think he's going to run down Illinois' throat. I'm not sure they can stop it. They just gave 200 yards up to Nebraska, who is not a good rushing team. So I feel good about that. Jeff, let's flip it back over to you on defense.
Well, that microscope's not traveling too far from where it was last week. That secondary is on. That secondary is on notice. All of them. They multiple microscopes. The whole secondary is magnified. All y'all motherfuckers. Everybody's on notice. You can't have the mental errors, the lack of effort plays. I expect to see some new faces getting some different playing time this week. I really, I'd like, and I hope to
do it. You probably get away with it and it won't hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see this week. Hopefully, this week of practice was just a fucking dog show. Just dudes, hungry, fighting for playing time. Like I would hope that they're getting that kind of fight this week. Just seeing that they got the moment to, hey, there's playing time to be had here. So hopefully it was a good week of practice, and we get to see some new faces in that secondary, and just mistake free, just the mental errors.
All right, Shawn, what do you have on defense?
Well, in the same light, but I've got specifically Shawn Wade. Okay. He needs to step it up and play like a first-round top 10 pick, like he was projected at being. And I know the talent's there. Right. I just don't know, and I think if he can step up and lead by example, where it was some play, and not that he didn't have some good plays in that game, he obviously did with the pick six and a couple other pass breakups, but he got owned half the game too. So I just think he needs to be more consistent. And again, I think if Wade plays well, he'll raise the whole secondary.
Well, he's got to be that leader. Then he's got to show. He's got to. If they need him to pull them, then he's got to do it. We got to see it, because we're not in the thing. There's no offense the rest of the year. These three teams, we're not going to get tested. We're not going to know if we've improved really until we get into the playoff, because I don't think we're going to get any type of the challenge that we'll need to get to know if we've gotten better.
Until you're playing Clemson or Alabama.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to go with Harrison. Sack Harrison. Where you at, son? I mean, I saw you get the fumble on Penix that was not ruled a fumble, but other than that, he's been kind of incognito. He's getting limited snaps. Not sure why. But let's let this big dog feed. I mean, let him go. I'm going Harrison. So score predictions. Let's start with you, Jeff. Buckeyes favored by 28. I do have an over/under at 70.5. So it sounds like the Buckeye defense will show up again.
Yeah, 70.5. I will definitely take the under on 70.5. Favored by 28. You said we're in Champaign, correct?
Yeah.
I don't think we cover. I don't know. Give me 42-17.
Oh wow. Expecting that secondary to return to form. Shawn, what do you think?
I don't know what to think of the secondary. I don't even, I don't know.
I'm gonna think that the secondary, holds in there like Jeff thinks they will. I got us scoring a few more points, so 56-17.
All right. I'm going.
Weather might play a factor in that, Shawn.
Always the wind tunnel out there. But I still think that even if we run the ball 100 times, I'm going 52-9. Niner, good old Niner.
Are you picturing a safety and a touchdown?
No. I'm picturing they get a touchdown, miss the extra point, and then get a chip shot field goal.
I got you.
That can't be missed.
They got a 2-point. They just can't wait to show us, and then they fuck it up. for their first touchdown.
That works too.
We got a 2-point play though.
We're just going to run it down their fucking throats. I think the defense is going to be super motivated to show up and show that they've corrected issues. And I do think the wind tunnel is going to suck for everybody. But 52-9 cover, but take the under. So let's talk some Big Ten games here from last week quickly. I don't see a reason to talk about 0-5 Penn State. Do you? Didn't think so. How about Michigan at Rutgers in that clutch pullout?
Super disappointed in Rutgers for not hanging on to that. They had that
They
game
covered.
Shut up. That's what I was, Shawn. That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. Rutgers let that one go. They were winning the whole game.
Yep.
I'm disappointed.
Shawn
Rutgers
doesn't have money on the fucking game. Come on.
Well, he could have won either way. I mean, he covered.
They played for the field goal in the overtime. That was a good call.
Dude, he has no quarterback. That's why they try all that fucking shit. All that fucking...
But they didn't even pull it
all the
out of the
gadgets,
bag, dude. They didn't pull everything out of the bag like they did against Ohio State. I don't think there was a fake punt. There was not that fake snap over the quarterback's head. I mean, come on.
A lot of that shit against Ohio State, he was coming back home where he just coached. I think that had a lot to do with it. He didn't want to try too much of it because he's actually trying to win the game. He knew he had a chance of winning that game. The Ohio State game, he's like, I'm just going to throw shit at him and see what happens. But he was, you got to tighten up your play calling a little bit when you get in a tight game like that. But they had it. I mean, obviously they have no idea how to finish or how to win a game like that.
Well, that's like neither does Michigan. I mean, geez, talk about 2 and that fucking. What do we do? What do we do? They're probably both shitting themselves.
I think I don't know who Rutgers has left this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are a real fucking tough out.
Purdue, Penn State, Maryland. Looks like 3 dubs to me.
I don't know. Maryland, if they ever play again, might be decent. Did they just play?
Doubt it.
Maryland might end up shutting it down.
I don't see them suiting up again this year.
Which is fine. Whatever.
They won't be missed.
We just need them 2 fucking schools where you're at, Shawn, to just make it. Just get us to the Saturday. Don't fuck it up,
bro.
We'll see if they show up to Indiana next weekend. I'll believe it when I believe it. But Rutgers, Shawn's got him playing tough.
I think so.
That's the starting point. You got
that quarterback
chopping,
is that
right?
quarterback's lost though. He gets a recruit in there. He gets a quarterback like at least a dude like JT that can maybe not a big thrower, but dude that can just run, pick up some yards for you, be a good leader. He'll get some studs.
What was noticeable is Milton got pulled and Michigan went with that young quarterback.
The McNamara begins.
Lit it up, kind of.
He's their quarterback going forward. Milton's done.
You can't go back.
Yeah, McNamara
is he? Quarterback. Has that been decided?
Because that's 2 games in a row. That's 2 games in a row. The exact same thing happened.
Right.
Milton gets pulled. McNamara comes in, plays better, team wins, or points are scored, offense looks better.
He had 4 touchdowns.
And then Milton started this game. And then the same thing happened, got pulled again, and then he came in and the guy came in and won the game.
What's kind of pathetic to me,
huge game, Michigan Penn State.
And it's
Has there ever been a worse Michigan Penn State game in the history of football?
No, this is going to be total sewer shit.
They've all kind of sucked. But
this is a major indictment on Harbaugh. On Harbaugh specifically because he groomed Milton. He recruited Milton. It's his guy. It's, you know what I mean? Like he
chased McCaffrey out of there.
He chased out McCaffrey. Oh yeah. He's got 2 brothers. They're both looking pretty good. Maybe this guy could have had a shot. But he chose Milton. He chose Milton, and then
3-star out of Reno, Nevada. Come on, man.
I know, but
Jesus, what are you doing?
But that's what I'm saying. Like he has no he has no development. I mean, Milton was the child. You know what I mean?
There's no plan, dude. There's no fucking
Nothing.
plan in that area.
Nothing.
They have no idea what they're doing. I
think everybody still wants Harbaugh gone after that win, and at the least they would want Harbaugh to fire everybody on staff.
Laurinaitis was saying, Joe, when he was looking at Michigan's too deep, because he did the Rutgers game.
Right.
He said the Quinnipiac and Hutchinson are both injured, right?
Yeah.
He said they had to move their 3-technique D tackle out to DN, who hasn't played there in like 7 years.
Right.
Instead, they had there's no other depth. Like they had to take their best inside guy and move him back outside because there's like nobody else there. And he's like
recruiting and development.
Right. See, that's what was his point. He's like, I look down Ohio State's roster. There's dudes. Like I see dudes. 3, 4 deep, 5 deep.
Exactly.
Michigan had to move a guy out of position to generate a pass rush, and
that eked out a 3 overtime win against fucking Rutgers.
And Rutgers has Rutgers' a shit show at quarterback,
right?
And not shit show. The guys they're just not big. They're just not good Big Ten quarterbacks. I'm not knocking the guys. They're just too.
Shawn bring in a bunch of JC transfers and stuff.
A bunch of D1 transfers. He's got 2 Buckeyes on his roster. He's got a guy from Michigan. He's got a guy from Wisconsin. He's got high quality dudes.
Yeah, he went around the Big Ten and he
got
found some
that portal. He's making calls.
And it's only that's not gonna change any. I don't think. What do you think, Joe? Your outlook on that, on the transfer portal and how that's gonna fluctuate?
Well, yeah. Now the NCAA
it's going to be more of like a free agency.
Yeah, they're supposed to vote on the one-time transfer license, I guess you could call it, in January, I believe. So just assume that that's probably going to pass if they've admitted that they'll vote on it. So everybody's going to get their one-time transfer pass, and from there you enter the portal or whatever after that. I don't know. But, yeah, that's going to happen. That's like starting next year. That's going to happen. I mean, it's pretty much happened already with Fields, Tathan, guys like that, that transfer and start or are able to play immediately. So that's happening. Wisconsin at Northwestern. What about this game, guys?
That's a disappointing loss for Wisconsin.
I didn't watch it. I couldn't fucking watch it.
I had it on the third TV on mute, and then I just kept looking over. I'm like, still 7-7. Oh, yeah. 17-7. Oh,
10.
It's
14-7.
14-7. I'm like, Jesus. It was hard to watch. It wasn't really a watchable game, but what Wisconsin?
Mertz. I thought he was the man.
Yeah, maybe he got a little full of himself. I don't know, but they say Northwestern's defense is ranked, like their run defense is like top 5 in the country. So maybe they keep winning, stay undefeated for us. Big Ten title game. They're in the driver's seat. I don't know. I don't know what their fight.
Yeah, I don't think they can be caught. I don't think they can be caught now.
No, they can't.
I don't know if it's clinched yet, but because
I think they lost out. They get to win one more.
They got Sparty, Minnesota, and Illinois.
Yeah, that's 3. It looks like they're going to win.
2 losses already. Minnesota has 2 losses. So yeah, it's Ohio State and Northwestern again.
Well, but I
love the Wildcats. I love every 4 or 5 years when the Wildcats put together a run.
Yeah, it's it's going to be one of those kind of redos of every other year, Wisconsin and Northwestern, the way it looks.
I heard Laurinaitis said today that Fitzgerald was getting interest for the Packers job before they hired LaFleur.
Peter? Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. That Fitzgerald was even interviewing.
That's somebody that Michigan could be interested in.
Yeah.
Who?
Fitzgerald.
Who do you want?
Fitzgerald isn't going nowhere, man.
Could.
Come on.
Fitzgerald, Tom Allen. What do you want?
Yeah, Tom Allen's a good one.
Fitzgerald's in a better spot, man. For him personally, he's been there, he played there, he's legend. You're gonna build a statue of Fitzgerald.
I agree. Because I
Northwestern.
think the facilities are just as good, if not better, at Northwestern. They got a fucking awesome ass facility right there on the lake.
Right.
It's like a full glass view on one side of the lake. I mean, it looks fucking awesome. It's on par with, the players' lounges and all that type of shit that the big schools have.
Throw a lot of cash at him, see what happens. Tom Allen, I think, would make that jump.
But I think Fitzgerald could have a lifetime contract at Northwestern.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want Tom Allen to make that jump. Tom Allen, I think, is a good coach.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
I'd love someone like Tom Herman to make that jump. Love to whip that ass.
Can you imagine? And Herman would take the job because he'd want to stick at the Ohio State. He's like, I want to get these fuckers, and then he realized, oh, but I got Michigan's program. Fuck.
Yeah, it's great if you get loaded.
I can't be
prospects.
Texas Town. I can't be Texas Town up here in Ann Arbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm stuck with recruits because I'm so unlikable, and that's the problem with Harbaugh. That's the big bitch up here. It's like Harbaugh is the worst at recruiting too. Just like you look up and down Ohio State's coach. Michigan's got none. No great recruiters on that team, and that's leadership. That's Harbaugh.
I think we took their best recruiter out of Washington, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
We did. It's like, oh, you got to recruit? Okay, we'll take him. Bring the old man, too.
And you can't.
Texas is melting down on the message boards right now because they just lost Caleb Burton.
They never had him. They never had him.
No,
he wasn't committed.
But he's going going to Ohio State, which chaps their ass even more.
Yeah, because he knows the quarterback personally. And he thinks this guy's the best in the country. I know him. I know he is.
Speaking of that,
he's going there. I'm going there.
Speaking of that, how are you a receiver not going to Ohio State? Now you got Stroud and Miller that are freshmen there now. Next year you got what's his name 5-star coming in, and then we just signed Ewers. Now McCord. In 2 years, 2 of those guys are going to be gone.
Yeah,
Probably transferred out. But you know what? I think the mindset among these guys now, where I think a few years ago that would have been intimidating for some of these quarterbacks to go to a school that's that loaded. But I think they're going to a school like Ohio State is like, you know what? I want to get trained under this program for a couple years, like Joe Burrow. If I don't get the job, I'll transfer out. That's the name of the game now.
I could go start in an SEC.
I want to go get the best. I want to go get the best weight training and conditioning and coaching available.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Ryan Day. I'm sure Ryan Day.
And that's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
That's if you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Day obviously
Exactly.
is not. He's not naive enough to think that he's going to be able to keep 4 or 5 of these guys in the program at once. He's not going to want that many. But he's taken. But you got to have. He's got the best pool to choose from.
Yeah, he's going to take a 5-star every year.
Yeah.
5-4 or 5. One quarterback every year. He loaded up on Stroud and Miller because the room was just depleted. There's nobody.
Right. Exactly.
So,
and you have to. I mean,
they knew the drill. They knew it was coming. So it's not like this is a huge surprise. But yeah, going forward, it's going to be a 5-star quarterback every year. Standard.
Yeah. And these guys know I really only need to play 1 year to show, and then I go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so. But yeah, we're gonna have a great fucking pool to choose from. And you never know injury. One guy gets injured. One guy injured so he gets redshirted a year. So then, one guy blows up, and so I mean, we're getting
quarterbacks so hard to figure out. But if you got all those guys, 1 or 2 of them are going to be pretty good. You got to think.
Yeah, you're going to miss here and there. You're going to miss them.
Sure. There's probably somebody.
The NFL misses on multiple every year.
One of these guys might be Tate Martell.
Mm-hmm. Well,
right. And one of these guys.
5'9".
One of these guys are probably going to leave and have success somewhere else. and be like, oh, well, yeah, he was good there. Well, we had a good guy here, kind of like, with the Haskins and Burrow. Well, it's not like we're like, oh, we should have kept Burrow. Well, Haskins didn't exactly do anything wrong.
I was on the keep Burrow officially bandwagon.
Yeah.
I wanted Burrow too, but
I went to that spring game and Burrow was the best quarterback on that field.
Well,
Burrow, Haskins, and
he hurt his
Martell.
hand though, and anyway. All right, boys. Good show. Thanksgiving coming up. Hope everybody has a good turkey day. If you're traveling, travel safe. I will eat a piece of pumpkin pie for all of you. And don't forget, get the supply store. We got some new hoodies in stock. Jeff, let me know if you need a hoodie. I'll set you up.
all right.
Shawn, I know you're not a hoodie guy. You like to roll a little lightweight, don't you?
Well, it depends. Get a little chilly up here. Might have to check that out.
All right. All right, hit the site, folks, and follow us on Twitter. We're always tweeting out some crazy shit. Take care and have a good holiday. We will talk to you next week. Go
All right, brother.
See you guys. Later.